welcome to John Eats Cheap. We're gonna do a restaurant favorite of Mrs. Cheap and I. And I've known the recipe for this for many, many years, and I've always wanted to try it, but I thought it would be too difficult and too messy. It's the Outback Steakhouse Bloomin' Onion. And the first time we ever had a Bloomin' Onion was, I think, before we even had an Outback Steakhouse near us. It was in Branson, Silver Dollar City at Christmas time, and walking around the park, and they had a big vat of oil, and they were making these big Bloomin' Onions, and they were so good. We love them, but we haven't had one in years now, so I'm gonna try and make one at home. Here's what we got. I have a small onion, and I'm not gonna try and do it the whole onion way like they do at the restaurant, because that's kind of difficult, so I'm just gonna kind of do onion petals, and I hope that works. So first off, we gotta get our egg wash ready. This is a cup of milk, and get an egg in here. With the cup of milk, and whisk that up.
That's whole milk.
Yeah, that's whole milk, and that's gonna be plenty of liquid. Because what we'll do here is like a double dip. We'll dip it into the egg wash, or the egg milk wash, into the flour and seasoning, back into the wash, back into the flour and seasoning. All right, that's ready to go. Now step 2. So we start with a cup of flour. I have my seasonings in here. I have 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1½ teaspoons of cayenne, ½ teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of ground oregano, and 1/8 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/8 teaspoon of cumin. That's our seasoning right there. So mix all that
Thank you
up.
for not making us watch you spoon each one through here.
Yeah, I changed that. I used to do that, but.
We'll post the recipes and amounts.
Yep. So that's mixed up now. Now we just need to get our onion ready. So I just have one small onion. Outback, they use huge onions. In fact, I remember we went there once, many, many years ago, and they said, our onions are really small, so we're giving you 2 Bloomin' Onions. One is plenty. Oh, these things are so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and...
Is that a white onion?
This, I believe, is a sweet, like a Vidalia.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna get that. I cut the end off both sides, get it peeled and cleaned. Sometimes this goes easier than other times. Get rid of my onion skin here.
Don't drop any on the floor.
Nope.
Dewey's right there. Shows the kitty.
So I gotta think of how I wanted to do this. I think I wanted to, let's see.
No, just quarter
Not that way.
Quarter it.
No, I'm not gonna quarter it. I'm gonna half it, and then
Third it.
Then I'm going to just kind of do it like this.
Is that going to be big enough?
Well, we'll find out, won't we? I still think this will be easier than trying to do it big. See, so these will be like onion petals. See, that's kind of like what you pull off, right? It just saves us a step. See? I suppose I should probably do the whole thing. And some of these, if they want to stay double sized, that makes them thicker. That's okay. So get these ready. All right, let's make some Bloomin' Onions. Just drop these into the wash. Do about that many to start with. Get them covered. Then into the flour and seasoning mixture. Oh, lost one.
Those are strong smelling onions.
Yeah. I love Bloomin' Onions. And the thing is, you go and Mrs. Cheap and I used to quit getting them because for 2 people, we would go just the 2 of us, and you really need a bunch of people because I will eat the whole thing and make that my meal.
And you got to have the steak special.
Yeah, with the jacket potato. All right, so now they're breaded, they're coated, they're going back into the wash. And repeat. This is just like you're in the shower with the shampoo. Even though, does anybody really do that? Do you really wash, rinse, and repeat?
Yeah.
They just want you, do you really?
Yeah, you're supposed to, aren't you?
They just want to sell you more shampoo. It's a suave trick.
But that's why you run out of shampoo before you run out of conditioner.
Nah, I don't condition. Wow, that actually, you know what? That looks like a bloomin' onion, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Coat it up. And then we're going to put these on some wax paper here, and we're supposed to refrigerate it for about 15 minutes. And I'm thinking that'll do kind of like it does my fried chicken. It allows the moisture to come out, and it'll make the seasoning and the flour stick a little better.
And then you won't take a bite and have the onion come out of the
Hopefully
breading.
not.
I hope.
We'll find out. I've never made these before. This is a first timer. So I didn't even do a practice run. But that's how I operate.
I'm very excited.
I know, it looks good so far.
Are we gonna have the dip too? Because
Yes,
that's the thing.
we'll make that as these are chilling in the fridge. Because that does that, what do they call it, like a remoulade or something. But it's good. All right, let me finish these up. All right, we're all breaded with our petals ready to go. I got to do this, you know, you get all doughy and got to clean that up. These go in the fridge for 15 minutes. All right, now it's time to make the sauce. We start out with 1/4 cup of mayo, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Put it in there. If you got a little too much, that's okay. All right, so mayo is in. We need a teaspoon of ketchup. I'm just gonna eyeball this as well.
Did you just put that mayo spoon down on the...
I did.
Honey.
I have to clean it. All right. Tablespoon of horseradish. Now that sounds like a lot of horseradish to me for just this little bit of sauce, but I'm a fan. Oh, great.
Now do your food math.
Well, 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So we'll do that. I'm probably about out. Looks like we're gonna finish off this horseradish. We might be a little light on the horseradish. Actually, I think I have another one in the pantry. I should have, let me check. All right, I'm at note to self, grocery list, need horseradish. So I only got about 2 teaspoons in and I need 1 more. So I fall back on Arby's. Packet of horsey sauce. I mean, this is kind of like mayo and horseradish, so I'm thinking should be all right.
And that's why you save the little packets.
Oh yeah, soy sauce, taco sauce, horsey sauce, barbecue sauce. There we are. Now, so that's our mayo, ketchup, and horseradish. We need 1/8 teaspoon of paprika, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, a pinch of oregano, black pepper, and cayenne. And there it is. And since it's pinches, I gotta make sure I get all that out of there.
And again, we'll post the
Yes.
recipe.
Yes. All right, now we're gonna whisk this up.
Bet you wish you had a tiny whisk.
You know what? It would work here. Next time you see a tiny whisk, Mrs. Cheap, go ahead and buy it. Every time we're at the store, she's like, "Look, tiny whisk," and I'm like, who uses a tiny whisk? All right, I could probably use one right now. It would be perfect in this small container. That looks like the sauce, doesn't it?
It does.
Let me give it, find a clean thing here. All right. That's pretty close. I'll have to tell really with the onion. All right, sauce is ready, so I'm gonna get this in the fridge, get cleaned up a little bit, and check our oil temp, and we should be about ready to fry. All right, oil's up to just over 350 degrees, so let's start making some bloomin' onions. You can see how those kind of, hopefully will make it stick. And one thing I'm sure I'm gonna find out, I remember always thinking, boy, I'll bet the oil gets dirty quick doing all those bloomin' onions that they do. There's gotta be so much residue down in there. I'm gonna put probably about half of these in here maybe.
This is just vegetable oil, right?
Yep. That's probably enough. And Mrs. Cheap said, you know what, could we freeze those like that? Hey, we'll give it a shot with the leftovers. Hopefully there'll be leftovers.
Oh, it smells like Outback already.
We're just going to go until they're golden, because you know an onion, you don't have to have it fully cooked or anything. I wish I could see it better. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like a bloomin' onion, but we're not done yet either. I'm thinking we're going to call those done. They look delish. And they look thick. Mrs. Cheap, that's too hot. We got to take it over and get the sauce out of the fridge and give it a shot. There they are, bloomin' onion petals. You know, nice. This looks like probably a double one here with the sauce. It is very good. I think it could use a little more cayenne, a little more spice of some kind to be more like the real one. But I love the texture of those onions. Well, that's a winner. And you don't have to try and get it all coated in. You know, they say slice the onion a particular way, spread it apart, dip it. Plus then you got to have a real high fryer. It's a lot easier and tastes just as good. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll share the recipe below. Give us a thumbs up, share the video. If you know somebody who loves bloomin' onions, thanks for watching. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. John Eats Cheap. Thanks for watching.